Today we have Julie, who is also artist and organize art workshops around the world, basically, right? Your
Yes.
workshops are mostly in France, or do you also explore other countries as well?
Well, they're mainly in France. The name of the company is Workshops in France, but we also do workshops in Scotland and in
Mm-hmm.
Italy. But
Okay, so before we start sharing what you're going to share today, I want to talk about your experience a little bit. So, have you been painting a long time? When did you pick up your art brush when you were 5 years old, like the other artist?
no, actually, I started when I was three.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I knew I was an artist when I was 3 years old. I didn't have much talent, let me tell you. But my mother was an artist. My father was a writer. So she recognized the fact that I was an artist. And, I was like coloring little kids' coloring books. So I was trying to get flesh tone using the primaries and mixing them. And she was like, "Oh, you're an artist." And I said, "Yeah, I am an artist." And so it was just a given.
Uh-huh.
And so I was given lots of art materials, and I come from a very large family, and all my brothers and sisters, my mother used to, "You sit," and I had to draw them. I mean, like no talent whatsoever, but I did it, and I just kept on drawing. And then when I was about 18, I went to art school for a couple of years and
Uh-huh.
actually kind of got very bored. So I started to travel, and I've lived in Spain, I've lived in the United States for many, many years. And now I spend 6 months a year in the United States and 6 months a year in Europe, um, like that, mainly in France and in Scotland, unless it's, say, in Italy. But I've been drawing all my life. I love painting the figure, I love painting the landscape, and I love working with other artists. I think it's my most favorite thing, travel and being with other artists. It's fantastic.
Oh, wonderful. It sounds like you're really enjoying your life. Oh, great. And when you stay in France, do you have like a certain residence you stay in, or you just travel around the different
Well, I
countries?
used to just travel around because I started this workshop business back in 2010. I did a pilot, and then I actually started it properly in 2012. And so I would be staying in an Airbnb while I was setting up the chateau, because what I do is I only do workshops in entire estates. Like I take over the entire chateau estate. So all the entire grounds, the building is the only people that are there are we artists. So it makes it very secure. It makes it like our own bubble. And
Mm-hmm.
so when people say, "Well, where do you stay in France?" I go, "I just stay in all these chateaus," and it's true. But then in 2016, at the end of that year, I decided enough was enough. Traveling back and forth was very expensive, and I had a little bit of money set aside. So I bought a house in a medieval village in the south of France, and I love it. This is my dream life, let me tell you. So it was a fixer upper, but now
Uh-huh.
it's very comfortable. So in between workshops, I have a house to go to, and it has a studio, and it's in a little village with all the characters, and it is out of this world. I could not be happier with my life,
Yeah.
except for COVID. That kind of put a damper
Yeah,
on
I
things.
know, but I think we are almost at the end of a long, dark tunnel now. So,
Exactly. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I just wish the tunnel was a lot shorter, but
yeah, I
honestly,
know everybody thinks so. But now we probably have more time to go outside and paint and take workshops and
yeah.
so on. And I know you are very established oil painter. And is there any reason that you chose oil as your primary medium?
I just fell in love with the smell, to be quite honest. Just thought,
Really?
oh,
You mean the
yeah,
smell of a
I loved it.
turpentine? I'm just kidding.
This is back in the day when, turpentine, people still used it. And it was just this, it was like, this is what an artist like should smell like. Therefore, I'm going to do oils. And I just loved
Yeah.
it. But I also work with watercolor and, every medium I love, even printmaking. And I also love drawing. I think drawing is a very underrated medium, and I love that too. But oil, I don't know. I just fell into it. It's not the easiest to carry around,
Yeah.
but you learn how to do that. And you learn, how to work with a
Right.
system. that's very portable. And
Yeah.
because I work with so many artists, I see a lot of systems come my way. So I know the ones that work the best.
Right.
And, you know, there's different kinds, and it just depends what you prefer. But
Yeah.
the wooden ones with legs and things, you know, nuts and bolts are not my favorite because I find them just too awkward for me. I like tripods, I like quite small systems. I like the kind that kind of a box that opens up like this. So then you got a nice large working space.
Uh-huh.
But you know, they're all good and they all have their positive points and you know their negative points too. So it just depends. Some people like the kind of clamshell, so it opens like this, and your palette is right next to what you're painting with.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I see them all come my way, and people just love what they use, and
Yeah, right.
it's fine.
Yeah. So later during the interview, would you be able to show some of your works?
Yes, I have that ready. Actually, some slides. The reason I'm showing my
Great.
work, to be quite honest, is just because I had the slides ready for it.
Yeah.
What I do is I work with artists from all over the world. We had one workshop in September
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years ago, and people were there from the USA, from Canada, from Australia. I have actually a group of Australians that come every year, like 6 years in a row,
Wow.
from Finland and from Switzerland, and even from Saudi Arabia. It was, you know,
Really?
it was amazing. Yes, no, mainly they come from mainly the United States and Canada, but actually all the nations are now getting represented. I'm Scottish myself, not that I promote necessarily to Scotland, but I've had other people come from Scotland, you know, to our workshops, and they were very surprised to find out it was being run by a Scottish.
Yeah, I recognize your Sean Connery accent.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so why don't we get started showing your upcoming workshop now?
Okay. Well, do you see this slide that I've got up here?
No, I see it right now. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
good.
gonna be shared for viewers.
Okay. So let me know if they can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is the upcoming workshop that I've chosen to talk about. We actually have one scheduled for June, and we're just crossing our fingers that we can go. But here's the thing: if we cannot deliver a workshop safely and
Mm-hmm.
stress-free, then really it's very, very hard on the artists. So this one I think is more certain. It's not until the end of September. So
Mm-hmm.
September. Actually, that's the wrong date. Oh my gosh!
This
It's
one
actually
says September 2nd through 11th.
Yeah, that's what it says right enough. You know, I'm a quick artist, so let me change that. It's actually September the 26th.
Oh,
Boom.
okay.
Yeah, like that to
Oh,
October the 5th.
wow.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm pretty handy with this stuff. Okay. Whoopsie doopsie.
So
All
it's
fun
through
here, huh?
October 5th.
Yes,
September
exactly.
26th through October 5th. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened here. Let me get rid of all this background stuff. You know
So
what? Why don't we just go on to the next slide?
is
We'll
that
show you.
lady in
This will
the
be
middle is hosting the workshop?
So this is being at a chateau, and it's an actual art retreat, which means no instructor. We are actually hosting several instructors, but since those workshops are practically full, I thought I'd talk about this one because it's one of my favorite, because painters come, like I said, from all over the world. They paint side by side, and you can have an oil painter next to a pastel artist, next to a watercolor painter. And it makes it really interesting, especially in the evening when we all get together and talk about what we did that day and what was exciting. And we're looking over each other's shoulders and go, yeah, you know, I like what you did with that watercolor. Now tell me more about that. And so there's a lot of back and forth like that. And when you come on an art retreat, it is actually about the artist as opposed to being just about one instructor. So you'll make lifelong friendships. You know, your friendships are just I've been friends now in Australia who travel to meet their friends they met at our workshop in Canada and vice versa. So people are going all over the world just because they came to one of our art retreats. And it's open to people of all levels, absolutely, all levels. So you can be a fearless beginner and right up to a professional. So we have professional painters that come, or even mid-career artists, because they can create beautiful work and then they can take it back, put it into their galleries or into their shows, sell it, which justifies them coming in the first place. So they tend to come every year or every other year, which is fabulous.
Wow.
And so what we do is we make it distraction free. So you don't have to worry about your food. You don't have to worry about your travel as long as you fly, and we don't handle airfares, obviously, because people are coming from everywhere, but we'll pick you up from the airport. We'll take you to the chateau. You're fed everywhere. You're taken to wherever you need to go. And they're really well paced, so they're not exhausting. So you get up. We're usually on the road painting by 9 after a really decent breakfast. We'll stop for lunch. Food in France is very important, as you know. Then we continue in the afternoon. And then in the evening, we generally is more social. But if you want to paint non-stop, there is nothing to stop you. But if you prefer to do it more paced, this is, we cater to that as well. Like I say, it's open to all levels. This would be a typical group here, as you can see. And we all learn from each other. The schedule is 10 days. So 2 days are an arrival and departure day, obviously. So 10 days is the sweet spot. It's perfect. And we also incorporate things like we go to Les Baux, which is a beautiful fortress town, and inside a mountain, they show these fantastic audiovisual spectaculars of Van Gogh has been one, Van Gogh, as you all say. We've seen the giants of the Renaissance with like Gustav Klimt. This year, actually, Cézanne and also Kandinsky. So these are giant projections. They're like 3 stories high, 3 stories wide. It's kind of like if Indiana Jones would do it, make a place, that he would have designed this. It's inside a mountain. It's massive. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then right after that, after a beautiful lunch inside the fortress, overlooking the entire valley below, you can see all the way to Marseille, as a matter of fact, we'll go down into the village of Saint-Rémy and through it, and there we will actually be where Van Gogh lived and worked for a year. It's where he painted about 142 of his most famous works, including Starry Night. And we stand where he stood and we paint what he painted. And no matter what you think about Van Gogh, you feel it. You feel the connection. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. And I've been so many times and it never ceases to be completely amazing. So
that's so amazing
experience. And then, so I am the organizer. My name is Julie Snyder. And this other person is Shirley. She is basically my co-host. Between us, we have run 25, actually between us, we run about 40 workshops. I personally have run 25 workshops and art retreats, each one of them 10 days, like I say, mainly in France. This is the chateau that we'll be holding our workshop in September through October. It's 26th of September through the 5th of October. You wanted to see the accommodations. These are typical rooms. We have several dining rooms if we have to social distance. We also have a large studio, which we use sometimes to eat. We have grounds, we have swimming pools. You ask any question, the answer is yes, we have it all. We have people coming back time and again. Okay, so you want to see some art. So this here actually was a painter that joined us last September, that we were there in 2019. We had a model come in. I found models to come in as well from Facebook, as a matter of fact, and he was posing right here in the grounds. And then this artist went on to paint at Saint-Rémy, where Van Gogh lived, and he took the same model and he posed him there, which was fabulous. And then over here, this is the terrace. And that, by the way, is Daniel Gerhardt, who a lot of people may have heard of.
So you painted this?
These ones here I painted.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you. This is from the village, ouvrez la porte, meaning open the door. This is the little cat. And then up here, this is actually on the grounds of one of the chateaus. Believe it or not, we call it the grenier, like a storage for grain, but it used to be a prison. Oops, I wasn't meant to tell you that. Okay, it used to be a prison. Here's a landscape. So we can paint landscapes, you can paint close-up, buildings, villages, even indoors. I just love this bathtub, right? Because you don't see that in America.
Right.
And
only in the movies.
Only in the movies and in France. And then there's the chateau grounds there once again. So basically that's what we do. If you want, for 1 second here, I can show you if you can hear this video, what other people have said about our workshop.
Yeah, go ahead.
1 minute.
Yeah, sure, okay. No problem.
It might be a little jerky, but hopefully it will work.
Yeah.
Well, the chateau is amazing. I had the privilege of waking up each morning to a sunrise in a beautiful Gothic window that was shrouded on the outside by these most amazing periwinkle flowers, also punctuated by blooms of pink. It was a joy to wake up every morning to that sunrise. It was an amazing group of people, very different, but everybody got along. Everyone was supportive of one another's art and technique and differences. And I think that's pretty rare. And it set the tone for an opportunity of creativity and gratitude and enjoyment and relaxation, which was exactly what I was looking for in a creative retreat. It was absolutely amazing.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, great. Wow. Thank
I
you so
can't, I
much.
can't believe this is my job. I get away with this. One day I expect the police to knock on the door and they go, can't do that anymore. Like, it's so fabulous, you know?
Yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
nice. Thank you for sharing us. And so before we finish the interview, I'm going to actually show the workshop directory website and then go to your listing there so that people can actually click on it. So let's get share screen here. Okay, now since your workshop is in France, we're gonna search. Okay, it's taking a while. Okay, search our event, then go to location and France. Okay, here's France. Search, then we get all the workshops in France, including yours. On September 21, I think this is the
Joseph
watercolor
Zbukvic.
workshop.
Yes, Joseph Zbukvic is one of the most famous watercolor painters in the entire
Is this
world.
still on?
Yes, that one's on.
Okay, that one's on.
Yes.
Okay, let's just go to this one just to show what's like.
Okay. You should take you to the work. There it is.
And is this already filled up or you still taking people?
You know what? It is actually full with a wait list, but don't let that deter you completely, because especially now, if somebody wanted to come and somebody goes off the wait list, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody cancels. Usually, the more recent the person signed up on the wait list,
Mm-hmm.
the more the easier it is for them to come. So people might have signed up the wait list a long time ago, but since then they made other plans because
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't make it. So don't
Yeah,
please, just get in touch with us if you want to come.
right.
It's fabulous. And look at his artwork. It's just, it's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
So we're so looking forward to him. He's a watercolor painter. He's coming with Lisa Wang, his wife,
Uh-huh.
and she is both watercolor and an oil painter. Although this is Joseph's workshop, she'll be there as well. And we're starting the
Okay.
workshop with a 5-day masterclass. You don't have to be a master painter to be eligible to do that, by the way. He's going to
Yeah.
start that. And then afterwards, we go into retreat mode, which means we all go out together and we're all painting on location. And Joseph's not like, this is how you paint this. He's more like just one of us and we're all painting together. And then every
Okay.
evening we get to meet and we do critiques. And at dinner, we talk about art and all the things that excite us in
Right.
life as artists.
Okay, great. So I guess the time's up. I wish we had more time to talk about your stuff, but maybe later we can invite you again for some more
I would love that, Peter.
different, yeah, more events. Okay, I'm so glad to see you today and have a wonderful afternoon.